I swear I wasn't even trying to snoop, but the way I found out my boyfriend was still talking to his ex actually made my stomach drop. So I'm 27, my boyfriend Jake is 21, and we've been together since last July, meeting families, traveling back and forth, actually building something real. Or at least that's what I thought. The first time his ex popped up was in January. I saw her name flash across his phone, asked what that was about, and he did the whole, oh, it's nothing, just occasional messages routine. I told him straight up it made me uncomfortable. He said he'd stop, promised he understood. End of conversation, supposedly. Fast forward to April, I see the same name again, but this time, the timestamp was recent. When I confronted him, he swore she knew about me. I asked to see the message. Spoiler, she didn't know a thing. And that's when I ended up scrolling just a little further, because if your stomach already drops, what's one more inch into the pit, right? It wasn't constant texting, but it wasn't once every few months either. He was giving her real updates on work stuff, family stuff, personal stuff he never even mentioned to me. She sent him a selfie. At Christmas, she sent him an old picture of them together with her dad, who even sends that a year post-breakup. There was even a call in January, a whole phone call he forgot to mention. And when I finally got him to sit down and talk about it, he had reasons. Of course he had reasons. He said she struggles with depression, that she's hinted at hurting herself, that he feels guilty cutting her off. He went into full people-pleaser mode, wanting everyone to be okay, except, apparently, the person he's dating. I told him this isn't sustainable. You can't be a hero to your ex and a boyfriend to me at the same time. He cried, apologized, said I was right, said he's messed up, and he needs time to fix everything. And then he asked me for a month, a whole month, to clean up a mess he swore wasn't a mess 3 months ago. And now I'm stuck in that awful place where your brain is like, if he really wanted to fix it, wouldn't he have already? And your heart is like, but he cried. And somewhere under all of that is the quiet sinking feeling that even if I stay, I'll be checking phone screens, reading tone shifts, overthinking every notification like it's a grenade. So I guess that's where I'm at. Is trust even realistic after someone proves they can look you in the eye and lie? Has time ever actually fixed this for anyone? Or is give me a month just the soft launch version of, this won't change? I swear the second we started sleeping together, everything else in our relationship just vanished. So I'm 20, my boyfriend Mark is 30, and we've been together about 7 months. From the beginning, I was super clear. I wanted to wait until marriage for sex. He said he respected that. No pressure, all good, and honestly, back then it felt real. He'd call me constantly, text me first, plan cute dates, take me out during the week, introduce me to his family. All the wholesome stuff that makes you feel like you're actually building something solid. Fast forward to about 2 months ago, our relationship finally felt safe enough, strong enough, so we started sleeping together, and that's exactly when everything flipped. Not immediately, gradually, like little pieces falling off one by one. Suddenly, he wasn't planning dates anymore. Suddenly, he only wanted to see me at night. Suddenly, weekends turned into, you can come over after my daughter goes to her mom's, instead of, let's spend the day together. And what makes this worse? This man owns his own company. He works a few hours a day. If he wanted actual quality time, he has the time. He just doesn't use it for me anymore. So I brought it up. I literally asked, why don't we go out anymore? And he hit me with the wildest excuse. He said it's because 3 months ago, I said no to going out to eat one time. And he gave up, one time, 3 months ago. Meanwhile, the timing literally lines up perfectly with when we started sleeping together. He promised he'd try more. Daytime plans, actual dates, more effort, and absolutely nothing changed. He calls once a day, sure, but every single invite is at night, always at his place, always the same script. And every time I sleep over, I wake up, leave in the morning, and that's it. No, let's grab breakfast. No, let's hang out today. Nothing. Just silence until nighttime again. And now I'm sitting here trying to figure out if I'm being dramatic or if my gut is just finally saying out loud what I've been avoiding. Did everything change because he got what he wanted? Or has he been showing me the truth this whole time and I just didn't want to see it? Anyone ever had a moment where a relationship flipped overnight like this? What did you end up doing?
My friend dated a girl who never let him take photos of her. We later found out why. My friend Matt has always been the kind of guy who believes in soulmates, type who sends good morning texts unironically, and probably cried watching The Notebook. A few months ago, he meets this girl on a dating app named Lisa, and according to him, she's perfect. Like suspiciously perfect. Gorgeous. Funny. Same weird indie bands. Laughs at his terrible puns. The whole package. Within weeks, they're inseparable. She's always around, always smiling, always somehow free exactly when Matt is. But there were little things that didn't make sense. She never let him take pictures of her. Every time he pulled out his phone, she'd laugh and say she hates photos. She never talked about her job either. Just said she worked in government stuff and changed the subject. And she always paid for everything in cash, which at the time we all just assumed meant she was one of those mysterious adult people who actually carry cash. One night, we're all at a bar and Matt steps outside to take a call, leaving me sitting there with Lisa alone. She leans over the table, looks directly at me, and says in this calm voice, "You seem like a good friend." Make sure Matt stays out of trouble. I just laugh awkwardly, because what kind of sentence is that to say in a bar? 2 days later, Lisa disappears completely. Her phone disconnected, her apartment suddenly empty, social media gone. Matt thinks he got ghosted and takes it really hard. Like full sad music, late night drives, existential crisis mode. A month later, we're sitting on his couch watching the news and suddenly Matt freezes and points at the TV. There she is, Lisa, except she's wearing a suit and standing behind a podium, and the caption says, Special Agent Lauren Carter. Turns out she was part of some massive undercover investigation into a money laundering operation and had been working the case for months. Matt wasn't even the suspect. He was literally just her cover story boyfriend, so she could blend in with the area. My friend thought he was in the most romantic relationship of his life, and the entire time he was basically an accidental prop in a federal investigation. To this day, he refuses to download another dating app because, according to him, the last time he did it ended with the FBI watching him eat nachos at a bar. And honestly, the part that still kills me is that Lisa never broke character once, which means either she was the most dedicated agent alive, or Matt really does have elite riz. I left my wife alone for 3 weeks, and honestly, I wish she had just cheated. 3 weeks ago, I had to fly to Germany for work, and my wife, Lena, decided she didn't want to come. She said she'd stay home, water the plants, watch Netflix, have a relaxing little reset. I believed her because she's a grown adult, and I assumed adults can survive unsupervised for 21 days. Apparently, that was a wild assumption. Day 2, she decides to make sourdough bread from scratch using a YouTube tutorial and what she thought was yeast, but was actually Epsom salt. The result was a rock-solid bread brick, which she proudly named Crumbzilla. It was so dense it literally cracked our marble countertop when she dropped it, and instead of throwing it away, she displayed it on the kitchen island like some kind of prehistoric artifact. Then she randomly decides she's going vegan for clarity and orders 19 pounds of produce from a sketchy organic website. Half the vegetables arrived already moldy. The other half she turned into juice. Only juice. No solid food for a week, just green liquid. By day 4, she was so dizzy, she put all our frozen meals into the laundry hamper because she thought it was the freezer. Those meals have now completely melted into something that smells like sadness. Eventually, she gave up on vegetables entirely and started surviving on Pop-Tarts and spoonfuls of peanut butter, which she described as nutritional balance. Meanwhile, she stopped wearing actual clothes and switched to living permanently in the same bathrobe. By week 2, the robe was roughly 70% fabric and 30% soup stains. Even our dog Max, a normally affectionate schnauzer, stopped sitting next to her and started watching her from a safe distance, like she might explode. I finally fly home last night after a 10-hour flight and open the door to a living room that smells like fermented ginger and poor decisions. Lena runs to hug me wearing the same robe, holding a jar of pickles in one hand and a half-knitted scarf in the other, because apparently she also took up knitting to calm her stomach. This morning I wake up and hear her whisper in her sleep. I think I'm turning into kombucha, followed by a small burp. The dog has moved his bed into the bathroom and refuses to make eye contact with either of us. I grabbed my keys and told her I was going out for coffee. The dog followed immediately. He needed fresh air. I needed psychological counseling. So now I'm sitting in a caf with a silent, traumatized schnauzer drinking espresso like it's holy water, while the barista asks if I want oat milk, and I just say no because apparently my life already comes with enough fermented liquids. And honestly, the only thought stuck in my head right now is that if Lena had cheated while I was gone, at least the house wouldn't smell like a failed science experiment. So yeah, if anyone asks how the trip went, the marriage is technically fine, the dog is recovering, but I'm still not entirely sure what I'm walking back into when I go home tonight.
My husband impulse bought a dog, and it's the first time in 6 years I felt the ground shift under my feet. We've always been the couple that over-communicates. Premarital counseling, check-ins, planning, everything. Like two people terrified of waking up one day, resenting each other. We're child-free, aligned on that, and we've been circling the idea of a dog for years. Though our travel schedule made it impossible, until his new job slowed our traveling, and he decided he deserved a dog. I grew up with dogs. I love them, but I'm neurotic about health. There are breeds I'd never touch because I've seen the suffering up close. And then one day, he walks in with a 6-month-old bulldog puppy from a family who couldn't keep him. Man, my stomach just dropped. The snoring, the breathing issues, the surgeries he'll need, the fact that he can't run. All the things I told him break my heart to watch in a dog. But he was already in love. My husband, not the dog. He doesn't walk him unless it's fun, doesn't clean up after him, just wants to take him to places where people gush over how cute the snorting is. Meanwhile, I'm the one working from home with a puppy who sleeps at my feet like a little broken engine. I love him. I do. But every snore reminds me he literally can't breathe right. And then the bed fight happened. He wanted the dog in our bed. I said I'd sleep elsewhere. He shrugged. So now I'm in the guest room and the dog is in my spot, snoring through the night while my husband pretends nothing is wrong. I'm here trying to not explode, trying to find a way to talk about it without turning into someone I don't want to be. But I feel betrayed in a way I can't explain. And if anyone's ever been in this weird limbo loving the dog, resenting the choice, scared of who it's turning you into, yeah, I could use some perspective. If you read this far, tell me what you'd do, because I'm honestly not sure anymore. Subscribe and comment for more stories.